I have returned from the Shadow Realm to give you my picks for this upcoming weekend's championship games in the NFC and the AFC. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New England Patriots. In the NFC, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And I am perspirating, I am sweating in excitement for this upcoming Sunday. Got me sweating like a whore in church as the Lord is pointing out the harlots in the choir. I didn't know Father Maxwell was married. I thought it was holy water. I didn't know it was his ejaculate. That's not what we're here to talk about. No homo. Let's start in the NFC. I am picking the Minnesota Vikings to get the W. I feel bad for Eagles fans. I truly want to see the Eagles go on and win a Super Bowl at one point because they truly do deserve to win one. That city has been through enough. They booed Santa Claus. I mean, I'd boo too, honestly. But the only person who's won championships as of late in Philadelphia was Rocky, and he's not even real. And that was in the goddamn 76. Well, did he win? No, he lost in 76. He won in 79. That's not the point. It's not real. Okay, they got everybody caught in a goddamn genjutsu thinking that Rocky's real, standing there with a damn statue. They're gonna probably take it down because, you know, Sylvester Stallone got charged with sexual assault. But that's not what we're here to talk about. You're innocent, bro. I'm on your side. Hashtag free the boys. But, you know, I do want to see Minnesota win this game because it's going to be an opportunity to see somebody host the Super Bowl. And honestly, both these franchises do deserve to go on to the Super Bowl because if you look at Philadelphia, 1960 was the last time they won themselves any sort of NFL championship. What was it? It was Chuck Van Derrick, Mr. Iron Man on both sides of the field. You had Norm Van Brocklin slinging the ball. I believe they beat Lombardi's Packers. The Minnesota Vikings 4 times going to the Super Bowl and losing. Those 1970s teams should have had themselves a Super Bowl trophy. You had Bud Grant calling the shots. You had Alan Page, first ever defensive MVP. You had, well, I should say defensive player to win the MVP. There was many different defensive MVPs. That's defensive player of the year. That's not what we're here to talk about. All right? You had Jim Marshall. You're running the wrong way. He should be in the Hall of Fame, I might add. You had Paul Krause, all-time NFL leader in NFL interceptions. I don't know why I said NFL interceptions. I already started with NFL. But yes, both these teams are deserving of going on to the Super Bowl and winning, but I am picking the Minnesota Vikings to get the W. Let me explain you why. All right? First and foremost, this Philadelphia team is driven by their defense and their special teams. Their offense has not really done diddly-poo since when Sylvania got cut down and got shut off and got changed back to regular Pennsylvania. They need Carson Wentz to get that team and air it out through the air because he ultimately would have led the NFL in touchdown passes. I believe he only got beat by 1 and he didn't play the last 3 games. All right? So with Nick Foles in there, like I said in the prior video regarding Nick Foles, he won't be the reason why you win, but he can be the reason why you lose. All right? He's been efficient in the postseason. He has. However, he hasn't really thrown any touchdown. He's not putting points on the board. He's just coasting and keeping you there, moving the chains and making the passes that he has to make in order to keep his team in the area to possibly win the game. All right? So if Philadelphia wants to win this game, this is what they got to do. They got to establish the run. First and foremost, you got 2 dreadlocked people in your backfield who have gone to Pro Bowls. You got LeGarrette Blount. You got Jay Ajayi, Mr. My name sounds like Thai food seasoning. Give them both the ball. All right? You want to beat this Minnesota team, you got to be able to establish the run, unlike what the Saints had going for them last game. All right, you got to be able to run the ball effectively on this Minnesota team. Now, it is very hard because there's extremely capable defense. All right, but if Philly wants to be able to move the ball offensively, they got to do the right thing and run the ball. Hey, if you got to check the ball down, you got Corey Clement, who's there. I believe that's his name. Corey Clement, dump the ball off to him. He's one of the better receiving backs in the league. All right, I believe he's a rookie, but he's getting it done this year. Get him the ball through the air, let him cut up some people and move down the field. You still got Aguilar out there, Nelson occasional hands Aguilar. You got Alshon Jeffrey who's out there, who is a Pro Bowl receiver. If you're able to throw the ball vertically down the field, then all power to you. But honestly, if the Philadelphia Eagles want to move the ball offensively, they got to start with that run. Utilize the dreadlocks that's on your team, all right? As we all know, Chronicles 13 verse 7, can't stop, won't stop. The Lord our God has dreadlocks, and he's bestowed those dreadlock powers upon Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. If you want to win the game offensively, give the ball to those 2 guys in the backfield. Defensively, if you want to win the game, you got to shut down Minnesota's run attack. Take away Jerick McKinnon. Take away Latavius Murray, especially in the red zone, because when they get into the red zone, like I said before, Minnesota's offense is extremely efficient down in the red zone. They got Rudolph the red zone reindeer at tight end who can always catch the ball there. You got Stephon Diggs who decides, hey, I want to be Randy Moss and jump over people and catch red zone touchdowns. You got sneaky Adam Thielen, who's the hometown kid from Minnesota, catching balls in the back of the end zone. So you got to keep an eye out for that. If they get into the red zone, Philadelphia's defense got to be able to shut them down like they did on the final drive playing against Atlanta. That's how Philly's going to be able to win the game. And also take the ball away. If you have to win this game, take the ball out of Case Keenum's hands. Pick it off. There's going to be some bum throws that he throws into the air that should be intercepted. You got to be able to intercept those. And on special teams, you're going to need a block. I believe, honestly, this year, special teams wise, no team has been better than Philly this season. They've been able to block punts. They've been able to cover punts. They've been able to down balls inside the 5, inside the 10, inside the 20. All right, so special teams has to make a play. It's going to be very reminiscent of when the Colts played against the Chargers back in, 2009, 2011, with the punter, Matt Cyphers, for the Chargers, was pinning them inside the 5-yard line and had Peyton Manning starting inside the 5. So if I'm the punter for the Eagles, today, or I should say Sunday night, is going to be your night. Pin the Vikings inside the 10, inside the 5. You guys, the defense can get that pass rush going. Fletcher Cox going up the middle. All those other guys coming off the edge. They can bring that pressure, and ultimately you can hoist up the George Halas trophy at your hometown. But I do see Minnesota winning this game. Why? Because coming out of the backfield, you still do have Jerick McKinnon there. So if I want to dump the ball off, there it is. Regarding cornerbacks, the Eagles cornerbacks are somewhat capable, but I don't think they can run with Stephon Diggs. I don't think they can cover Adam Thielen like that. More importantly, when they get into the red zone, I don't think they're going to be able to cover Rudolph the Red Zone Reindeer. More importantly, defensively, this is where I believe the game will be won, especially for Minnesota. Let me not say especially, because they're the ones who are going to win the game, in my opinion. They're going to be able to take the ball away from Nick Foles. If you're Minnesota, you got to be able to take the ball away, which they've been doing all season. More importantly, on the ground, in the front, with their fingers in the dirt, you have that pass rush. Mr. Everson Griffin. Remember back when they played against the Lions? What should I name my child? My wife just gave birth. Guess what? He's going to be giving birth all over the damn backfield of the Philadelphia Eagles because he's coming to sack individuals. It's going to be looking like, what's happening? There's a sack on the floor. He's hatching other sacks out of the sack. That's what's going to be happening. It don't make no goddamn sense, but make it make sense. All right? Goddamn, it's the first analogy that came to my mind. All right? But I do see Minnesota going on and winning this game. Why? Because their defense is going to take the ball out of the hands of Nick Foles. If they get themselves 2 turnovers and they turn at least one of those turnovers into points, they can win the game. But they cannot play football the way they did last week, going from the first half to the second half. If you have that lead, you got to put your foot down on the gas, turn it on their throat, and put the game away. But my pick is the Minnesota Vikings to win that game. Now, if I were you, I'd go to mybookieg.com and go choose the damn Philadelphia Eagles to lose. All right? And you can win yourself some money. Or you can pick the Minnesota Vikings to win. Win yourself some money. Now, in the AFC, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New England Patriots. Last time that they met inside the playoffs, I can't really remember the last time they played each other in the playoffs. I do remember they went on to play in the AFC Championship that the Patriots ultimately won in 1996, only to go on to the Super Bowl and lose to Brett Favre taking off his helmet, running around, Desmond Howard returning kicks to the end zone, Andre Rison catching fades while he was going deep into the end zone, and they lose to the Green Bay Packers. I can't remember what the score was. I think it was like 35-21, whatever the case was. Mike Holmgren lifting up the Lombardi. But Jacksonville, this team is very capable, and I am picking Jacksonville to go to the Super Bowl. Yes, that's right. I am seeing a Minnesota versus Jacksonville Super Bowl, and let me tell you why. Now everybody's talking about, the NFL, it's scripted. They just want to see Tom Brady win. This is the same old story. The Patriots going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. You do recognize there's been 51 Super Bowls that have passed already. The team that has the most happens to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have 6. But what my point that I'm getting at is it ain't easy to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, the Patriots have 5. They've only won 5 this goddamn millennium. They are the team of this millennium. Behind that, there's been other teams that have been failing. They sucked prior to the year 2000. What I'm getting at is that the NFL don't have no franchise that they want to bestow as, oh, you're going to be the best franchise. You're our model franchise. We want to see you win at all times. So the way I see it going down is I see the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game. Why? Because the Patriots defense still is suspect. More importantly, their offense is not all that. All right, people got to stop falling for the genjutsu about this Patriots team. Remember, when they played against the Titans, let's not forget about that first half where they had some bad calls by the referees. I ain't saying the referees are the reason why the Patriots won, but let's not act like the Titans did not have momentum going down the field. More importantly, when they had the interference that they called on Decker, which was a terrible call. Then you had a push off from Gronk that didn't get called, and then they had another call later in the game. Oh, it wasn't later in the game. It was the second quarter. I can't remember which one it was. No, it was the false start. No, not the false start. The nuisance zone infraction. That should have never been called. So I'm very confused how the hell these officials be officiating stuff. But regardless, I don't see the Jacksonville Jaguars losing this game, and I'll tell you why. Their defense can take the ball out of the hands of Tom Brady. More importantly, Jacksonville have been very efficient on third down this postseason. Because they've been efficient on third down this postseason, that is how you beat the New England Patriots. More importantly, have they been able to run the ball? Yes. First game, it was Blake Bortles. Second game, it was Leonard Fournette. Third game, who knows? It could be both. As the Spanish people would say, I'm going to pronounce this extremely wrong. Chaos nos dos. I said it completely wrong. But yes, what I was trying to say was, why not both? All right. So I don't expect Blake Bortles to go out there and try to outduel Tom Brady, because that's not what's going to happen. Okay. Did you see him outduel Ben Roethlisberger this past Sunday? No. Ben, if you look at the stats and you look at the way they played, Ben blew Blake Bortles out of the water. But what happened? Blake Bortles got the W. Why? Because it's a full team effort. All right. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense will provide way too much pass rush for the Patriots offense. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball against the Jacksonville Jaguars, although they should be able to, because in the middle of the field, that is the weakness of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Run it up the gut, as you saw what they tried to do with Le'Veon Bell a couple of carries, where he was able to get 8 yards here, 9 yards here, 7 yards here. But with the Patriots, you got a Dion Lewis who's a smaller, undersized back. He's all speed. They're probably going to have him going outside. He is a little bit tough, but I think they're going to be having him run outside a little bit more. You got James White. Same sort of situation. These guys aren't the big time guys who have the power to go up the gut the way that, the weakness of the Jacksonville Jaguars is. So I don't think that's going to happen. Through the air, if you're going to have a game where you got to have Tom Brady have to throw the ball 50 times, they're not really going to be that comfortable having to do that, because Jacksonville's able to match up well with him. Brandon Cooks, he's going to be matched up with Jalen Ramsey, whichever side he were to be on. If it's Chris Hogan on the other side, then he got AJ Boye. These are two of the best three corners in the NFL. Plus, you got yourself Barry Church, who's back there. It was a pretty good cover safety. You got the other safety who's back there, pretty good cover safety. They can match up well. Gronk, he's going to be the matchup problem, but still, if he's the only one who can get stuff done offensively, all you got to start doing is doubling them and then beg somebody else to beat you. All right, so if the Patriots can get 3 touchdowns on this Jags defense, maybe they could possibly win the game, but I'll probably only see them getting 2, depending on how things play out. Now, yes, Pittsburgh did put up an overabundance of points on them. That is true. However, there's a little bit of different ways that things were played. If you look at the points that came down, or I should say the touchdowns that happened, it's a phenomenal play by a quarterback, phenomenal play by a receiver, or the way that the points were made. So you're going to have to see how the players play moving forward. But as for Jacksonville's offense, I think they can run the ball against the Patriots defense, because the holes are there. If you watch the Tennessee game, not DeMarco Murray, but Derrick Henry, they had 3 different occasions where the lane was there for him to run, but he personally cut back. The calls were perfectly right. They were blocked well, but he cut back. So that's the way I see the game playing out. I think Jacksonville will be able to run the ball on the Patriots. I think it's going to be somewhat of a close game. I'm going to go maybe 21-17. Now I'm going to say Jacksonville's going to win. Now, if I were you, I'd go over to mybookie.ag. All right, go and pick Jacksonville to win over by 4. Get them and win yourself some money. All right, but those are my picks for this upcoming championship game Sunday. All right, as you can see, the perspiration is still underneath my armpits. All right, so those are my picks. I want to see Minnesota, Jacksonville, Super Bowl. All right, let's see how it all plays out. I'm going back to the shadow room because my head hurt. Oh, and update, I got my computer, so the commentary videos will be uploaded momentarily.